you've got to open the whole side.
Yeah, she'll open the whole side down. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, so I am now going to grab the end of the limb with a sterile piece of gauze and hold it while I go for the place where I'm going to insert the line. And then I'm going to clean all around it. Okay, and then I'm going to take another one and do a similar thing. First round around where the site is going to be, then everywhere else. And then finally, I'm going to hold where it's clean and do the fingers. And then especially go in between the fingers with the thing. Especially with the other solution, you would need to use a gauze and to go in between. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then we get rid of that. Now we're ready to drape. So we need the drape with the window. So we get the drape in. Right. Now can you close
The
sides?
Yeah.
And open up the next one. And now I'm going to take this and move it like this. And then I'm going to take this and move it in. Okay, and just put it so that I don't have a big hole there to deal with. Okay. Now in order to get my line in without it touching anything, I'm going to take another gauze. So let me take this off because I'm not finished draping. Right, gauze. I'm trying not to touch the end. I'm going to roll it up inside, close it up, and put it into the incubator. And we'll need one of these. And we'll need one of these. Right. And in order to feed it in, I will need one non-tooth forceps. So just checking it's not toothed. Okay. So, having identified where I'm going to put it in, I would feed the green cannula in. It will then drip blood from the back. So then I open my gauze. I use my forceps to find the end. And having decided that the length should be 10 centimeters, I will then feed this in. And I'll know that I'm in when I've reached 5 centimeters and it's still going. As you can see, it's well beyond the end.
Yeah.
So if I now push it into 10 centimeters. Okay. Now what I need to do, it's now sitting in the vein, is I need to hold it and disconnect this. Take the line out, hold the end, and gradually pull the green cannula off, making sure that the line is still sitting exactly where I wanted it to be. So if I wanted it to be a 10 and it slips out by a centimeter, I would then need to feed it in that extra bit. Okay, let me get this out the way through, and then as I said, you put it all in the blue end bit, connect it up. Okay, and now I can flush it. Yeah, and it should, you're not going to see that, but it should come through. Right, then next I need to secure it. So now I need my, obviously it will tend to bleed a lot now, so you can try holding it for a minute and see if that stops the bleeding. If not, you can always use a tourniquet for a good 5 minutes in order to not have a mobile finger. Steady gauze often helps. And then if that doesn't work, you can actually use the coltostat. But obviously you have to remove it before you stick it down. So once you've got homeostasis, then if you make these small, then you're not going to land up with circumferential dressings. So I always like to stick one down, and if I look here, actually it doesn't even need to be that long, so I can make it even shorter. Then you want to do the curly whirly bit so that you don't have bits hanging everywhere.
You're right there, Lauren? Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to have to fit this whole blue bit underneath the dressing. I also would prefer not to have it over the joint. So and without putting a bend on it. So it probably would be better if I put it this way round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if I take a sterile strip, I'll just use the little one to stick it down for now, because these can be a menace once you've done them, to actually get them stuck again. Okay, so I want all of this stuck down. Then I tend to like to have a bit of gauze underneath the blue thing, because it sometimes can cause a pressure area, and ideally you don't want a pressure area. So just so not anywhere near where your line insertion is, so underneath it, if you get the just so then I want to stick all that down without making it circumferential. And then of course you want your tegaderm over the top, and this too you don't want circumferential, and you want it to cover your entire line. Okay, so something like that. So I'm making sure that that doesn't actually meet, and I'm sticking it down everywhere. And this flapping bit is meant to be in the patient.
Will not be flapping outside.
No. Now I've stuck it down, Okay. And what often happens is that the child starts bleeding again. Now you can't really do very much once you've actually stuck everything down. In this instance, I would definitely go for a tourniquet to try and reduce the bleeding. I can also see that despite my best efforts, I've still managed to have a bit of dressing gauze sticking out. So I would need to use a second tegaderm. And in this instance, I would use the trouser legs round the line. So now I'm covering that and making sure that I'm not getting circumferential. I'm going to make a trouser leg around the line, if I can do it. Something like that. And now I can take that all off. We do contrast for all our lines. So now would be the time to make sure you have X-ray on the way. And in order to make sure that the line doesn't get blocked, this should be put on a saline infusion.
Yeah.
So when they come to do the actual line now, I would fold this back so that they can see the baby, and I'm covering where my line is and all my sterile things, so that actually you're not desterilizing your space. I would also take this spare cover and cover it over the sterile field so that it doesn't get contaminated.
There we go. So this is our form for our instrument pack. So when we opened it, we would have checked that everything was there, which we did. And then on our way out, we need to check that everything that is in the tray matches what's on the form. And we need to sign that. And then this all gets boxed up back again.
So dilator.
Yeah, so we've got our tray, which is there. First thing, we've got the blue tray liner. We've got the dilator. We should have a needle holder. We should have a mosquito straight forceps. There we go. Then we should have a iris scissor. Then a fine tooth dissecting forceps, which is that one, which we didn't use. And then we've got our non-tooth forceps, and then the blue-green tray wrap, which is on the outside. So once we're happy that's all there, we can tick them, sign the form, and then the form goes
with this in the box,
and it goes
into CSSD.
Yes.